Welcome to the deep dive. This is where we plunge into some really fascinating topics and pull up those key bits of knowledge, those moments that make you go, uh-huh, just for you. Today, we're tackling a really, well, audacious claim. It comes from Nikola Tesla, one of history's most, let's say, enigmatic minds. He famously said that the numbers 3, 6, and 9 hold the actual key to the universe. Pretty bold statement, isn't it? So our mission here is to explore what that might mean, the significance, the hidden power maybe behind these specific numbers. Why was Tesla so completely convinced?
Right. And for this deep dive, our source material is, well, it's quite intriguing. We're looking at excerpts from the book, The Key to the Universe, Mystery of 369. And, this isn't your standard science book. Not at all. It's a really unique mix. It blends science, spirituality, mathematics, even ideas about energy. It promises this kind of interconnected view on how numbers and vibrations might, well, influence everything, from nature right down to your own life.
Absolutely. And what you can expect to get from our discussion today is hopefully a clearer path through these complex, kind of multi-layered ideas. We're mixing that scientific curiosity with, some maybe more spiritual wisdom. And yeah, we'll even touch on some practical things, like a specific journaling method that honestly you might find yourself quite drawn to. This is definitely for the curious minds out there. Maybe you're a Tesla fan or you're interested in quantum thinking concepts, or even manifestation. Okay, so let's dive into this mystery then. The book apparently grounds its whole argument in some foundational ideas, things like numerology and sacred geometry. How does it actually connect those ancient fields to these specific numbers, 3, 6, and 9? What's the link it's making?
Well, the book presents these numbers as much more than just digits on a page. For instance, it talks about something called vortex math. It's this idea where if you keep doubling numbers like 1, 2, 4, 8, then 16 becomes 7, 3, 2 becomes 5, and so on. You get this cycle, 1, 2, 4, 8, 7, 5. But 3, 6, and 9 are missing from that cycle. And interestingly, if you sum the digits in that cycle, they always seem to resolve to 9. So the book suggests 9 is kind of separate, a control number maybe. And then through sacred geometry, it points out how 3, 6, and 9 often appear in patterns in nature. Think about the 6 signs of a snowflake, or maybe even like the spiral arms of a galaxy. The idea is that these numbers are somehow embedded in the blueprint of creation.
That idea, numbers as energetic blueprints.
Yeah, that's really captivating, isn't it? So building on that, the book takes it further into energy and vibration. Okay, this is where it seems to get even broader.
Yeah.
How does it argue that 3, 6, and 9 actually form the fabric of reality through energy? Right, the central idea, as this source lays it out, is that fundamentally everything in the universe is energy. And all energy vibrates at certain frequencies, that basic concept. The book then tries to connect 3, 6, and 9 to this by saying these numbers represent the fundamental nodes, or maybe harmonics, within this whole universal energy field.
Yeah.
It suggests they aren't just abstract concepts, but they're actually built into the vibrational patterns that shape everything, from atoms maybe right up to our unconsciousness. Like they're the master keys, sort of, to how the universe resonates.
Okay, with those kinds of ideas, universal patterns, energetic foundations, you can definitely see why someone like Nikola Tesla, a mind always looking for hidden rules, trying to tap into unseen forces, why he'd be so drawn to 3, 6, and 9. What did he think they unlocked?
Specifically. Yeah, the book really leans into Tesla's conviction here. It claims he believed understanding 3, 6, and 9 was absolutely crucial. The key to unlocking things like free energy, maybe even decoding the basic laws of the universe. It talks about his experiments, particularly with oscillating circuits. Apparently, he observed that energy seemed to resonate, to amplify, when the frequencies aligned with certain mathematical ratios that implicitly involved this 3, 6, 9 pattern. He seemed to believe these numbers were fundamental to accessing what he called limitless energy, just from the environment around us. And that speaks directly to that quantum thinking idea we mentioned, seeing deep connections everywhere and maybe consciousness playing a bigger role than we think.
So according to this book, it wasn't just physics or engineering for him, it went deeper. Does the book explore any other angles to his fascination? Maybe something more spiritual or philosophical?
It does, actually. It details a pretty significant spiritual connection, explaining how this 369 principle is apparently used in various manifestation practices. And it gives a very clear, practical example, something called the 369 manifestation method. The idea here is you write down what you desire, but in specific patterns. Like you affirm your goal 3 times when you wake up, then 6 times midday, and 9 times just before sleep. The book suggests that doing this, following that 369 sequence, helps align your own intention, your own energy, with the universe's underlying frequencies, almost like amplifying your signal to help bring those desires into your reality, creating an energetic blueprint, basically, for what you want.
Wow. It's really quite something how this text weaves together such different threads, isn't it? You've got ancient geometry, universal energy fields, Tesla's really specific theories, and then these practical manifestation techniques. Okay, thinking about that wide scope, what would you say are the main strengths of the book's perspective based on the excerpts? And maybe what are some potential challenges or things to keep in mind?
Yeah, looking closely at the parts we reviewed, a definite strength is how it dives into Tesla's theories about 369. These often get mentioned, but you don't always see them explained in this kind of detail. It also does a pretty good job, I think, of breaking down some concepts that could be really complex, making them feel more accessible. Another thing, it really encourages you to try things out, the journaling, the affirmations. That's a plus if you're someone who likes to actively apply ideas. Now, on the flip side, some parts might feel a little repetitive. Maybe that's intentional to make sure the ideas stick. And it's definitely important to note that, some sections are quite speculative. They tend to lean more towards spiritual interpretations rather than hard empirical scientific proof. And just to be clear, our aim here, as always, is just to present the ideas from the source material fairly. We want you to see the whole picture, the different facets, and then, make up your own mind.
And it's certainly a rich picture. We've journeyed through numerology, sacred geometry, touched on universal energy, vibration, Tesla's deep-seated beliefs, and even those concrete manifestation methods. These numbers, 3, 6, and 9, as this book, Mystery of 369, explores them, they really do offer a fresh way to look at how numbers, energy, and maybe even our lives interconnect.
Exactly. And that's why a discussion like this can be a useful shortcut, really. It distills some powerful, if sometimes complex, concepts. It connects different areas, math, physics, spirituality, hopefully giving you a pretty rounded, but still easy to grasp understanding of a topic that's, frankly, quite intriguing and often just touched upon briefly elsewhere.
So as you go about the rest of your day, maybe here's something to chew on, a thought for reflection. Just how many unseen patterns might actually be governing the universe, or even shaping our own experiences? Patterns just waiting there for us to notice them, just like Nikola Tesla seems so certain they were. It really does make you pause and wonder, doesn't it?